Your fear of judgment is what is holding you back from being the person that you really want to be. And I know this because that's what's holding me back right now. And it's so crazy because it's the people that we know, the people that we grew up with, whether it's junior high, high school, your family, those are the ones that we're actually more worried about compared to the people that we don't know. For example, like I have a lot of family blocked. I don't want to say a lot of family, but I blocked a lot of people that I know off social media because I was worried about their judgment and their opinions on how I chose to express myself and what I was posting out on the internet. So I felt like in order for me to not care and not worry about it, I just like kind of blocked them so that way they don't have to be bothered by it and I don't have to be bothered by it as well. My mom asked me a couple days ago, when am I gonna unblock her from TikTok, or am I gonna unblock her on TikTok? And like I didn't say anything because like yes, I want to unblock her, but at the same time, the reason why I did block her was because I really didn't want her calling me every time I posted a video and like saying, oh, she didn't like what I said, because I don't think people understand that just like how songwriters make music, singers, that's how they express themselves. You know, that's how they get over shit. That's how they heal. And for me, talking about my feelings and posting them on social media is how I heal. You know, I'd rather talk and express myself on my phone through the camera than to like journal, even though I do that, or sit down and talk to a therapist. Even if I were to sit down and talk to a therapist, I'm pretty sure I would still come on social media and I would still talk about what I learned in my therapist appointment. It wouldn't make sense for me to heal from something and then get on the internet and be like, oh yeah, I'm happy now, everything's all better, without giving you a background story on how I got better, because at the same time, I want to be an influencer, I want to influence, so I feel like it would be very fake of me to just, you know, show my happy side, show my happy life, but not show the sad parts, you know what I mean? The days of the week and not just my weekends, if that makes sense. I used to be very jealous, not very jealous, but I would watch people's stories on the weekends and be like, damn, I wish I was out there like having a good time, or like, oh, they're doing this, like I want to do this. And I feel like God hit me with a very nice understanding that kind of changed the way I felt when I would watch people's stories. Is like, you only see those people post on the weekends. You don't know how their week is going. You don't know what they went through this week, but they're only posting the good. And now they have you feeling like their life is all rosy and they're having the greatest time, even though they could just be numbing the pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not their everyday life. And once I started to think that way and I had that thought, it was a lot harder for me to be jealous or have the thoughts of, oh, I wish that's what I was doing. You know what I mean? So now sometimes I want to express a thought, express an opinion, or whatever the case might be, just say however I'm feeling for the day. And I refrain because I'm worried about what people are going to think. And it's so crazy because you say people, but like you're actually worried about your family and your friends and the small circle of people that you grew up with and what they have to say. And it scares you and it holds you back from potentially helping someone else who needed to see that, who needed to hear that opinion. You know what I mean? If there's one thing that also bothers me is saying, you know what I mean. So if I say, you know what I mean a lot and you notice, I'm sorry, it bothers me just as much as it is bothering you. Maybe it's honestly not bothering you, and maybe you honestly didn't even think about it until I mentioned it. So oops. I also feel like a fear of success has a lot to do with that. Like, I feel like if I were to hit a level of success, I would be afraid, or I am afraid subconsciously, because I feel like that would change the whole trajectory of my life. And I don't think people truly understand. I never really understood it for myself until I would be laying down in bed and I'd be aware that like there's something that I want to say on camera and I wouldn't say it because I would think about like, damn, what about if this would happen and it would go viral, and I would just, I don't know, I would just think things, and my overthinking would stop me from saying whatever it is I needed to say, because it's not just about fearing what other people think about me, but also the fear of success. It's also interesting because I would rather express my opinion and talk to the camera and say however I'm feeling than to talk to someone one-on-one, whether, like I said earlier, a therapist, friend, or family. I just feel like it allows me to be heard a lot more, you know, because when you're watching someone's video, you're choosing to sit down and listen to what that person has to say. And I'm not worried about whether I'm talking about myself too much, whether I'm being a narcissist, whether like you care, whether you don't care. I just think it allows me to say whatever I have to say and put it out there and move on from it. You know, I don't have to sit and like overthink. So a lot of the times I'm talking to people or I'm hanging out with people and I'm just like, I'd rather have this conversation or express this opinion to the camera. You know what I mean? Because I feel like people are more open to sitting to like watching and listening to what you have to say. So the moral of the story is that we need to work on no longer giving a crap about what people think about us, because that is what is honestly holding us back from being the person that we're supposed to be. And we should stop being afraid to take up space in the world, because there is a lot of space that should be taken, and you should not be scared that your light is dimming someone else's. You're not responsible for someone else is insecurity. It's your job to make yourself feel good and shine your light. So yeah, that's just about it. And thank you for listening.